right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays, coming to you live at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday in New York. So I'm sure a lot of people are still taking a rest, way too early for California, but Australia should be awake, and all of Asia, of course. No, wait. Yeah. Yep, all of Asia should still be awake. So this is good. It's a perfect hour to do it. Let's go to the charts. There will be a private Q&A following this. I know the private Q&A isn't open to everyone yet, but it will be. And I'm going to probably take this maybe 45 minutes Q&A, but let's go to the charts and we'll spend 15 minutes talking about what is going on right now with the price of Bitcoin and its charts. Okay. So here we go by looking at the weekly chart. The weekly chart, we have one more day to go besides a full day today. So we got 2 full days to go, actually. And we are still in the middle of an MRI trend to the downside. We could complete the MRI trend to the downside without breaking the low that we got earlier this week. As of now, this candle is slightly bullish, leaning, which is a good sign, but it's still between these two very important moving averages. So not much to say about the weekly chart on a Saturday. We just have to wait and see how the week ends. The daily chart is pretty key. And once again, I am bothered by, why is this a plus sign? I don't know. Once again, I am bothered by the fact that the funding rate is not that critical anymore. And in a few minutes, it's gonna, or in a few days, it can start favoring the bears once again. It is favoring the bulls, but very, very slightly. And we'll see how that progresses. The RSI has bottomed out, and that's a bullish sign. We're now back in the neutral territory. The MACD still looks bad. The CMF still looks bad, but it's trending up in an okay fashion. At this point, I am waiting for the next MRI buy opportunity. As you guys know, my MRI buy opportunity here did not materialize to the upside. And when that happens, I now anticipate the continuation of trend for 2 reasons. One of those reasons is it can give me a second consecutive MRI buy opportunity, which I see as very bearish. But the other one is that it kicks off extensions. And if I go to, I guess I have to go all the way back to the big drops. Let's say here, nope, not there. I guess I need the drops from the $14,000 range. Let's look at this. Here we had our MRI buy that did materialize. Now I went all the way back to 2019. That went into an MRI sell. Here's an example of an MRI buy that did not really materialize, and we continued trending down, and eventually we did get our extensions. So here's what I look for. I look for extension B and extension C. So here is the MRI buy opportunity that did not materialize. This was a weekly MRI buy opportunity that did materialize for a 1 to 4 week correction, and then it trended down, but it never altered the extensions that started from this MRI buy. And this is the first time those extensions, the extension B ended. That was another MRI buy opportunity that did not materialize. And it had its own extension B right there, along with another MRI buy. And this finally took us all the way to a very nice top into February of 2020, again with the MRI, only to get crushed with the COVID insanity. This was a great MRI buy, and it also established a higher swing low. Let's see if we can do something similar, actually. Now that I'm looking at what happened on daily candles, this does remind me a little bit of what's happening right now as far as candle structure is concerned. Now, fundamentally, I don't like the comparison between the COVID crash and the current crash. But from a technical perspective, we had the big crash followed by a decent rebound almost halfway through the crash, and then a few more candles, and it gave us an MRI buy that did not give us a new closing low, did not give us a new swing low, but it led into this beautiful bull market. And this was a much safer buying opportunity than this. Let's just say, if I had to, in hindsight, if I had to choose the perfect buying opportunity, it would be right here, right on this big candle, because it's breaking the high of the prior candle. Okay, so for me, the perfect buy opportunity was actually here. That is my perfect buy opportunity, because I don't know if this is going to rebound. I also don't know where this is going to happen. This was also a good limit order to set, and I did tweet out right on this day. I tweeted out, set your limit orders for 4,500, and this thing fell just below 4,500. But the safest time to buy is right there at 54. Now, a lot of people think, oh, you're an idiot. Why are you buying at 54 when you could have bought at 3 or at 4? I'm like, so what? But I don't know if it's going to reverse right here. Nobody does. But this is a safe place to buy, and it's after the MRI. Now, if we go up to today, we are looking at something similar. It'll take like 4 to 5 more days, but it's possible we can get our second consecutive MRI buy, and I would love to see it somewhere in the $3,300, $3,400 range. It would be nice not to even break this low, but in order for us to actually get an MRI buy, we would need to close lower than this close. So we would need a new low close, and then there would also have to be a close lower than yesterday's close. So we're going to need some closes under $36,000 or under $37,000 in order to get that second consecutive MRI, and then that could be a nice bullish sign. However, all these moving averages is going to look like a disaster. 4-hour chart, I don't like the look of this 4-hour chart. It continues to make lower lows and lower highs. Yes, we did not make a new swing low, but it doesn't matter. We made a new closing low, which is bad enough. So I do not like the feel of the 4-hour chart, which tells me there is probably still some more downside left in this trend. Okay, 1-hour chart. One-hour chart looks a little more bullish, but the 1-hour chart still needs to break above this area of resistance, which is the MRI resistance from this MRI buy on the hourly chart. And this breakout line is no longer really relevant, but I like the fact that it's right there in line with the MRI resistance. So I would need a break of this area, which is 41.9. Basically, I need 42,000 on an hourly close in order to be bullish on the hourly chart of Bitcoin. Now, those that were paying attention to the MRI, when did I do my last video? I don't even remember. It doesn't feel like I did it that long ago. If you could have caught the MRI warning on this candle, you traded well if you didn't get stopped out right there a few days later. Okay. What else we got? I have not redeployed my excess capital into GBTC because I'm still a little bit concerned on this rebound as it's forming. The Bitcoin dominance chart. Well, if there was ever a reason to trust the MRI, this is a good example. I got to remember to add this to my future workshop on MRI. I'll probably forget, but that's okay. There's plenty of examples. But look at this beautiful MRI on the weekly. But there was also an MRI on the daily. So here it is. That was that weekly MRI buy And then 2 days later, there was this beautiful MRI buy on the daily chart. And this is Bitcoin versus shitcoin. And Bitcoin dominance is once again starting to rise. Someone in the comments is saying MRI is a scam indicator, it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work in the same way that RSI doesn't work or MACD doesn't work. It's an indicator. You either use it or you don't. No one is forcing you to. It's not magic. There is no, if you are looking for a system that tells you when to buy, when to sell, so you could be a gazillionaire, keep looking for that. Let me know when you find it, please. I want one as well. People don't want to think or learn or do anything. You can give your money to a fund. You can give your money to a scammer, let them manage it for you. That worked out really well for many people, including those that invested in Bernie Madoff's funds. Or you can learn to trade. I prefer to learn to trade. So here is the MRI on gold. The indicator that doesn't work was able to call the perfect top in gold back in August, the perfect bottom in March, and it once again is calling a top. So we'll see how this works out. Does the price of gold have to go down? Absolutely not. I am looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. That correction could be sideways movement, and then probably more upside. No, I don't really care about oil. S&P 500 closed the week relatively weak, but it did bounce strong-ish. I would stay away from the S&P 500. Yeah, that's a good point. The MRI counts are objective. They're written right there. It's the interpretation of these counts that's subjective. And if you've never learned it properly, then yeah, this indicator is guaranteed to lose you money. That's why when people ask for free access to the indicator, I tell them I can give you free access for a week or two. But I don't want to, because all it can do is probably lose you money because you're not paying for the education on how to use it. So you're going to get yourself into more trouble by having free access without watching the proper videos on how to use it. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm going to take a look at what's going on with Taproot. And it's great. There were only 5 non-Taproot blocks in the last row. And I'm hoping that by the time we get to the last row, literally last row in the signaling period, there would be only 1 or 2 red blocks. And then we know SegWit's going to get in next period. Still some congestion in the mempool, but we were over 100. Now we're down to 92. Should hopefully get this down to 50 over the weekend. And if you are interested in the MRI, you can find it under tonevays.com, products and services, MRI indicator. There are also on-demand videos that teach you how to trade right here. And the free Learn Trading tutorial. I had one of my favorite quotes. I think it was in the MRI section. Where was it? I think it was at the end. No, it wasn't at the end. There it is. It's not the quote I wanted. There's another quote. But that's a good quote too, from Galileo. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him to find it within himself. There was another quote. Man, where did I have it? I think it's in. Anyway, I'll find it. I'll show it to you guys. No, I don't have it here. I should add it here. It was from Jesse Livermore. All right. I'll entertain one super chat question, and then I'm gonna get going on that private QA, which will be published tomorrow. Thank you for everything, Tone. I've watched every video since January 2020 and enjoyed reading the Bitcoin Clarity book by Kiara. Yep, excellent book, which I discovered on your channel. I love the Bitcoin Brief Show. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And Jan 2020, okay. Yeah, I've been at it since I think 2016 or 15, so there's lots of videos. If you really want to learn, if you want to learn more about finance, you definitely want to check out Tyler Jenks's old videos. But yeah, check out the old news briefs. You can Google for the old Crypto Scam podcast too. Okay, guys, that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. And I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow. The events begin. I'll try to stream from one of the conferences. May or may not be a stream tomorrow. We will see. Tomorrow is, of course, Sunday. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, yeah, tomorrow the Q&A from this whole week is going to be published.